2023 was about experimenting, trying to understand AI. It was a very person-centric, individual-centric approach to AI where anyone who was interested kind of got up to speed, watched YouTube videos, did some online research, played around with chatgpt themselves, trained themselves, and really started to kind of figure out whether or not they as an individual wanted to start implementing AI solutions at work. 2024 is going to be fundamentally different. 2024 is going to be about organizational AI. Now, what do I mean by organizational AI? As opposed to individuals within a company deciding to either get involved with AI or not, 2024, companies are going to make the conscious decision to try and implement AI solutions. They're going to allocate budgets, money to AI within their industry, within their organization. So fundamentally different approach to 2024 versus 2023. 23 was very much aha, wow, OMG type. Look at this new amazing tool. What does it all mean? We all understand, starting here into 2024, that AI has the capability of 2xing, 3xing, 5xing, 10xing you as an individual, but also you as a company, as an organization. So companies are now fully on board with the idea that they need to start figuring out how to implement AI within the company. What is that going to involve? Well, instead of individuals deciding to use AI or not, to get trained on AI themselves or not, companies are going to have to figure out how to get buy-in. And that is the first step. You have to get buy-in from the people within your organization. There are going to be skeptics, there are going to be naysayers, there are going to be technophobes. There's going to be all these folks within your organization who are not going to be well suited to adopt AI. You have the choice as an organization to simply let those people go and, survival of the fittest, every person for themselves. It's not a very good approach for obvious reasons. If you are the company, if you're in the executive team, if you're management, if you're at the board level, if you're a CEO, you need to give your workers every chance to try and become AI enabled. And so you have to get that buy-in. How do you get buy-in? Well, there's certainly the suggestion that if you don't become AI enabled, you will simply be left behind. You will no longer work here. There are companies that are taking that approach where they're simply flat out telling their people, you either get on the train or you're going to be left behind. You're no longer going to be working here. On an industry level, there are certainly a number of pundits who are simply saying that if you as a company or you as an individual do not get AI enabled, you will no longer have a job. It just will not be possible for you to work within your industry, within your company, within your organization. Now, that could be 2024, that could be 2026, no one knows for sure. The best approach for an organization is to give its people every resource to be able to succeed with AI. So part of that is getting their buy-in if possible, and that's explaining your strategy, explaining why it's important, showing them how AI can 5x work product. Example, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Showing them, sharing with them your GPT threads where you use GPT to better your work product, to reduce the amount of time, to enhance your own expertise. These are all the types of things that you can share with folks using the share feature of ChatGPT. Now, once you lay out your strategy as an organization to your folks, you now have to provide them the resources to succeed. And that is going to be the biggest challenge, quite honestly. From an organizational perspective, AI is so new Many of the people on the leadership team may be novices themselves. So how do you implement AI solutions and an AI training program that's going to make sure that you're protecting your proprietary and confidential information so that the AI systems that they use have the right security settings, that you have policies in place as to which AI tools they can feed proprietary, confidential customer information into that have been vetted by the organization. So these types of things are going to be part of your acceptable use policy for AI. As you've seen, we've provided a number of resources and helped companies develop these AI use policies. And it's called a acceptable use policy for AI, AUP for AI. These policies are going to set the framework by which your teams can move forward with AI so that they know what they can use, when they can use it, and how they can use it, which tools they can use. The next step is to implement training. And there aren't very good training programs out there. We're developing training programs based on our Quadcore training method for teaching people how to use AI in a business setting. But right now, you've got to figure out how it is you're going to train these people, because you have to train them how to get their security settings set up. You have to train them how to best use the tools. You have to teach them about prompt engineering. You have to show them the types of assistants that can be created as GPTs. If you have specialized or industry-specific tools, those need to be trained on. That is going to be a key component for your organization and is going to be determinative of your organization's success. So buy-in, assessment, and training. So those are the things you're going to need. Now, let's talk a little bit about assessment. Before you get too far down the road, you need to figure out which of these tools are going to provide the greatest advantage given your specific organizational needs. If you are a financial services company, that's going to be different than if you're a law firm. What is happening at the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 is for the first time, you can start to tie these tools into your proprietary and confidential information. You have to get the security settings set up to be able to do that appropriately so that no one is training on your input or the output. No one's training on your confidential information. Once you figure out how to create those GPTs or to tie into the APIs in order to do things that are special for you, designed for your company, you are going to have to then have someone develop those. And you might require third-party assistance. You might hire a developer. You're going to need someone to help you design, for instance, GPT assistants. It's going to be prompt engineering. It's going to be complex prompt engineering. You also want to enable each employee to design their own GPT assistants and develop training programs around that task. So that's what we're looking at here as we start 2024. If you are a company, if you're an organization, if you are at the executive level, if you're in the C-suite, you need to start to think about, how am I going to get AI implemented in my organization? How am I going to get the buy-in? Who's going to do the assessment as to which tools we're going to be using and how am I going to provide our folks training on these tools so that they can succeed? Stay tuned to this channel. We are obviously covering all these topics moving forward in 2024. We're developing resources for you as an organization to be able to have a successful AI implementation at an organizational level. My name is Enrico Schaefer. We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and of course, comment below with any questions.